Are you ready for the college football weekend? You watch the tape? You think you're prepared? Brooks Austin is our film guy, and Brooks joins Chuck and Chernoff right now. So break it down.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best in the business at breaking all things college football down. You can follow him on the socials. You could check out his work on the YouTube network. He's the film guy. He's our friend Brooks Austin, who's kind enough to join us on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. All right, Brooks, I want to read you some numbers, and I'm going to get your analysis on why it seems Gunnar Stockton is so good in the fourth quarter. Gunner's completing 86% of his passes. He's thrown for nearly 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and he's one of only 3 quarterbacks in the country to complete 70% or higher on more than 40 attempts in the fourth. Why?
I think he's a gamer, and it sounds so cliche, but we talked about this on our show the other night. Maybe he's just a lunatic that needs his back against the wall. Maybe he's just this kind of a football player, this kind of an athlete, this type of competitor. And honestly, guys, they sniffed this out on him very early on in the recruitment process. It's the reason that they very much so coveted him. And it's not, obviously, he held high school state records in the state of Georgia. But if you talk to Georgia about Gunnar Stockton in high school and said, hey, what do you like most about this guy? They would say, he wins games, he's a gamer, he's clutch, all those things. And it's such a, intangible. It's such a thing that you cannot measure. It is such a thing that you really are not supposed to gamble on with regards to prospect identification. We're not supposed to gamble and take bets on the intangibles, the things that we cannot measure. They do not do that. They normally are a height, weight, speed. What can you do in a vacuum type of player acquisition strategy? So to take that type of bet on a football player at that type of position, and of course he loves Georgia and he's going to compete. He's a great athlete and all those things. But they betted, they gambled on the fact that this kid was going to win games and the fact that he is a gamer and he is a winner. And that's what that stat is to me, man. That stat is that 86% in the fourth quarter. Back against the wall, I'm going to go win games. I'm a gamer.
Talk about Zachariah Branch and why specifically he's so dang good on those screen passes. And then also, I want you to comment on Anthony Evans because that was kind of his spot. The day Branch portals to Georgia, Anthony Evans says, yeah, I'm out. And he's having himself a bang-up season. So anything you remember about Anthony Evans from his couple years in Athens? Because he's really blossomed this year.
Yeah, Anthony Evans was always a burner. Both these guys that you just asked me about, they're sub-10, 500-meter guys. They're world-class speed, not just any sub-11 second guy is fast. Any sub-10 5 guy, any sub-10 4 guy, that guy, if he trains 12 months out of the year, might be able to qualify if he didn't play football. That type of speed. So that's what those two guys are. Anthony always surprised me with his level of, it's a football player. It's not a track guy. That's a guy that played big-time Texas high school football. And if you watched his tape out of high school, man, big, real tough at the catch point, real great after the catch, had tangibles and traits that real fast football players normally don't. They normally have just, hey, go run in a straight line. I always think of John Ross is the worst of these, right? The guys that can really play football are the guys that actually make it happen, right? The Deshaun Jacksons of the world. All right, he is a football player that is really, really fast. You mentioned Zachariah Branch, man. Guys, that's been a blue-chip athlete since day one. He was a 5-star out of high school, out there in Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman. He played a game against a buddy of mine in high school. He was the offensive coordinator for Brooklyn High School. They traveled out there. Zachariah Branch had 7 touchdowns, and 3 of them were on special teams. The ability to start and stop on a kid like that is also, again, a sub-10-4 guy in the 100-meter. But his ability, his short quickness ability is insane. That's what makes him such a tough tackle.
Brooks Austin is the film guy. You can check out his work on the YouTube network. He's with Chuck and Chernoff on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. So I want you to put this, this upset potential at some kind of level of danger because Miss State has given teams fits. They did it against Tennessee, lost in overtime, should have beaten Texas, lost in overtime, got beat at Florida by 2. The only team in the SEC that's really handled them was Texas A&M, and that game was on the road. How concerning is tomorrow's game?
They're definitely concerning from an explosive standpoint. Any team that can score that the way that they can score should scare you. Any team that has that type of speed at wide receiver has the ability to score at any time. You asked me about Anthony Evans. The Brennan Thompson kid takes my breath. He scares you constantly. So that's the other one that is a major problem. So yeah, like they don't kill you like slowly. They can kill you quickly, and that is definitely terrifying in college football nowadays. Like I think we've talked about it on this network before. Like the old adage in football was, if you run the ball and you win the turnover margin and you win time of possession, 9 times out of 10 you'll win that football game. Not anymore. The more true stat about college football nowadays is who wins the explosive margins. Can you win the amount of times we have explosive plays? And Mississippi State is really, really good at doing that. Now, all that being said, they're like close to 100th in run defense. So this also could be a game where Georgia pulls out a couple of death marches. And that for these styles of football teams, the way that Mississippi State plays football, that is not a good recipe.
Have you noticed at all, if you've been watching Mississippi State's defense, Isaac Smith, he's the best player on that defense. They played him up at edge. They played him at free safety. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, these 6'1.5", 6'2", 220-pound hybrid athletes that are really, really good ball skill athletes. I think defenses that play the style of defense that they play, those guys get to roam free and have fun and be athletes and make plays and be playmakers on the defensive side of football. And by the way, I think Mississippi State the last, 6 years since I've been doing this and really studying, they, more than any SEC defense in my mind, match their identity. Like, they're never going to have a plethora of blue-chip athletes. They always need to be predicated off confusion and havoc. They need to have offenses coming to the line of scrimmage having no idea what they're about to do and hopefully turning it over. And even if that means leading to explosives and allowing things every once in a while, that's okay, because we can't just stand here and say, hey, can you walk it 10 plays on us? Because the answer is yes. We're Mississippi State. We don't have Georgia's caliber of football players, so we better be hunting explosives and hunting havocs, and they use 2 to do a lot of that. You are right, Chuck.
Brooks, do you think LSU has any kind of life at Alabama tomorrow?
Oh, let me dust off a take I've been giving all week. 53 is the key number in this football game. They have 53 players from the state of Louisiana on that LSU roster, coached by Frank Wilson, an interim football coach, who is a Louisiana man. All right, so that is one thing to pay attention to in this football game. If there is any reason to think LSU has a get off the mat, they fight for this guy type of game, that would be right. Why? And also, like, I do believe Billy Napier and that Florida Gator team, like, they liked Billy. They fought for Billy for, like, ever, it seemed like. They constantly fought. I feel like LSU laid down every chance they could for Brian Kelly. So I don't necessarily think they like that guy. And having him walk out of the building, yeah, you might get that quote-unquote cliche interim bump. You might get it, but I think it's a bad matchup for Alabama or for LSU. Alabama is, if they struggle in anything, it's pass rush and not being able to run the football on the offensive side of football. LSU's bottom of the league in those categories. And on defense, if Alabama struggles with anything, it's stopping the run. LSU can't run the ball. So I think they're good. I think it's a good matchup for Alabama. Pardon the stutter.
Can I get you just an opinion, not to relitigate anything, but you remember the pass that was, did he catch it, did he not, last week, Georgia-Florida start event?
Yeah.
The hell, nobody talked. Why didn't DJ get the ball there? That's my big question. That's a throw he makes easy.
Oh, that's a ball-nose take, Chuck. It's an absolute ball-nose take. And you know why? Because it's so lackadaisical Lagway. Like, it's so him. I'm rolling to my left. I've got all the time in the world to get my feet set, turn my core back to where it's supposed to be, stop my momentum from continuing to float through the throw. Instead, I'm going to keep it on the run, and I'm going to try to flick this thing because the world's told me I'm a talented thrower. And it's going to come up 15 yards short. You are so right, Chuck. Next time I see you, I'm going to shake your daggum hand, son.
Oh, I guess I'm going to look forward to it.
Hey, for Brooks, by the way, that's quite the compliment. He's not a hugger, but he'll shake your hand. Brooks, not that it matters much, did anything stick out to you from the first CFP rankings?
Yeah, they think the ACC some poo. That's about it. That's the only one I took away from it. Like, what was it? Georgia Tech at 17, Miami at 18. I think they had Louisville at 15. Yeah, they do not think well of the ACC. That was my primary takeaway.
All right, most importantly, we got into a very hot debate here. Kristen Bell, is she sneaky hot or just hot?
I think she's just pretty. I wouldn't even go on to hot. Like,
that's a good way to do it. Yeah.
I think she's a pretty actress.
Yep. That's a good way. You know what, Brooks? Next time I see you, you're a hot knower. Next time I see you, I'm going to give you a dadgum handshake.
Attaboy.
See you, Brooks.
See you, boys.